What's going on? I'll be Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Domain Zoo. We're continuing to play with our boy here, the Siege Rhino. This card, I've really been liking this card in the deck. If you guys have been watching the games, it's very powerful in this deck, surprisingly. It's one of my favorite cards from the early days of when I started playing Modern, once I transitioned from Legacy. And like I always say, this is the real reason why Birthing Pod was banned. I don't care what anybody says. This is the guy. This is the guy. He's that guy, pal. So the switches that we have made to the deck here is we are playing a one of Cradle of Growth. I really have liked the 22nd land in the deck when we're playing a 4-drop, and the Cradle has been pretty good. The other options that I've play tested with is Misty Rainforest and Arid Mesa. Those are okay, but both of those can get one of the Triomes, which can be a problem. And then the other land that I was thinking about playing was the Jeskai Triome, but I don't know how I feel about having 22 lands and 3 of them coming into play tapped. So far the Cradle of Growth has been very good. So Ragavan, back at it again. Possibly the best 1-drop creature in Magic right now. Arguably, no, I think that's right, Shaman is still the best. But it's definitely up there. Wild Nacatl, 2 Brawlers. We're playing 2 Brawlers, so we are creature heavy here with 22 creatures. We're not playing any Remands in the deck or any Dromoka's commands. We have those in the sideboard here. Sideboard straightforward. The 1 Prismatic Ending has been pretty good. I like that. Everything else is, basically the same. So let's go ahead and get into the game here. So just playtesting this list here. I'm gonna play around with the Brawler spot. We might go back to 2 Remands. We may go to 2 Remands, 1 Dromoka's command, and cut the Cradle. I'm not sure yet. I want to continue playing the deck and seeing how smooth it runs. Like I mentioned, like the videos you guys have probably been watching with the Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino's been pretty good. It helps the deck a lot in closing out games, and it gives us a threat when we flood. I like Brawler as well. It pains me to have to cut him or her. I'm not sure. It's a cat. But I think that Ragavan is just better. But either way, we got Brawler in our hand anyways. Well, yeah, he is a male, right? Look at those pecs. Anyways, let's keep here. So we can go. We're gonna go most likely here. Obviously, depending on what they play. But we can go Temple Garden and then dash Ragavan, get in with the Nacatl. If everything goes good, we can get in for 5, get a token, and then play the second Nacatl. Alright, so this could be hammer time. So we're going to go Temple Garden. If they play a Stoneforge Mystic next turn, we're just going to have to bolt that, unfortunately. But we'll see. Alright, I'm wondering if they have a counter spell. Either way. So, if this comes in, they may not block. Yep, counter spell. That's good for us. They have 2 cards in hand, and we have a pretty stacked hand here. We can pretty much get rid of this whenever we choose. And we could do it next turn. We could bolt this. Although, this thing is not really that threatening for us right now. Opponent running out of gas. So we're going to go... I think we want to do Nacatl Brawler. We definitely don't want this to trigger because they're behind on cards and we don't want to give up that advantage. I remember playing Opt with Terminus, and was it Retreat to Angels? I think that's what it's called. Alright. They have a really heavy removal and interactive hand. Alright, so we're going to just put our companion in our hand before we forget. We're going to go ahead and grab this Triome, save us some time. We're gonna try to hold on to our burn spells as much as possible in case we have to bolt something. Also, we can just end the game. Alright, so they're gonna bounce here, and then we can probably just bolt here. Maybe we bolt, I don't even know if we even worry about that right now. Ooh. Maybe yeah, I think we do bolt it. Let's go ahead and here, play this. We're just gonna bolt it. We don't want them to have like double removal and then now we have to deal with this Teferi. Because again, we have a card advantage right now, and we want to maintain that advantage. Alright, so let's see what we would have drawn here. It's not going to let us know. But anyways, yeah, we would have got in for 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we could have most likely ended the game if they were not blocked. If they block, it's fine for us. Alright, so definitely need some cheap removal. Didn't really see much there. Brawler was decent, but I think we need this more since we're on the draw. Dromoka's command could be good. I like this for now. Not sure if we want to bring in the wear and tears. So the Siege Rhino, it gives us a big advantage once the game starts getting into that mid to late game. One of the things that I found that I would struggle with when I'm playing Domain Zoo is once we start getting into that mid to late game, if we haven't killed them or got them like below 10, it becomes very hard. Siege Rhino helps close that gap. So we're going to keep this. We have some good interaction here. Alright, so we're probably going to go with the Triome here. We can go Triome or we can go Steam Vents. So because of that, we're not going to fetch it out just yet. We may want a Stubborn Denial something here. So most likely opponent. So I think we need blue, right? Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with the Steam Vents anyways. So they're going to have a counter spell here. So do they no, they don't play Bolt, right? So I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just play this. Yep, there's the counter spell. Yeah, so we played the Forest instead of the Temple Garden. There's no reason for us to take damage because if we draw a fetch land, we can get the Triome and have Domain. Also, they don't play Bolt, so there's no reason we don't need it to be a 4/4 out the gate. Opponent probably has a very interactive hand with a lot of removal and counter spells possibly. Fortunately, we can't double spell here. Probably going to eat a counter spell here. Yep. Opponent doesn't know we're playing Siege Rhino, so it's going to be very good for us once we get into our 4th land, once they start running out of gas. Siege Rhino will be very hard for them to deal with. Alright, so I think, do we put our companion back? I think what we're going to do here is just, we're going to try to fish out these counter spells. Another good thing about Siege Rhino is because it is 4 mana, it's very hard to Prismatic Ending. A lot of decks can't get rid of it. Yeah, so they probably have a lot of removal in their hand. We're going to grab a Overgrown Tomb here. We're going to go... I think we go for double Scion. Snapcaster, we're gonna Dromoka's command, Stubborn Denial this. They could have Force of Negation here, but it's not the worst for us. We'd like to deplete their hand before we come down with the Siege Rhino. I mean, Siege Rhino and a Scion of Draco is very brutal because it gets Lifelink, Trample, and Vigilance. So let's attack here, see if we can fish anything out. I'm going to lead with another Draco here. And like I mentioned before, like your Siege Rhino, that's your top end, right? Like that's, you're trying to cast that at the end to finish if need to be. It's your ace in the hole. It's been a while since I've seen Snapcaster. Teferi. We're going to bolt them here because they're going to bounce one of these. Yep. So I'm going to go with the Siege Rhino now. Buff up our life total and get them down pretty low. Ooh, Dromoka's command. That's not a bad one. Let's go for the attack first. We're just going to go towards them. Teferi not really doing much to us right now. So we're going to do green. Oh. White. Black, green. Surprise! Opponent with 7 cards in hand. It's a lot of cards, my friends. They could have a sweeper here. And because they have the Teferi, they could play it at end of turn. Supreme Verdict? Nope, Timely Reinforcements. That's not the worst. Okay with that. So I think the play is Dromoka's Command. I think we're gonna Dromoka's Command here. We're going to put a 1/1 counter and we're going to fight. So we're going to put the 1/1 counter on the Draco, and then we're going to have, I guess, this fight one of these. So we're going to be able to get in if we're able to attack. Okay. Yep. What is, as an additional, what is this? Spell, you may exile any number. Each exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment with X. Okay. Alright. So they got rid of the Siege Rhino, and the Siege Rhino went with a bang. I mean, look how many cards it depleted from their hand. Alright, so they're back to 1 here. We're going to get a Sacred Foundry here. Now we're going to take this Teferi. Supreme Verdict here can put them back in the game even though they're at 1. Alright, so there it is. Alright, so we got there. Dromoka's Command was decent. Mana base looked pretty good. Everything was looking good. Siege Rhino there, like I mentioned, that's kind of more of our late game finisher. The opponent had a 1.7 cards in their hand. They had to get rid of basically their whole hand in order to deal with the Siege Rhino, and the Siege Rhino was able to buff our life total and also help them kill them faster. So, you know, you always, the way I like to play it is you deploy your cheaper threats, your Kavus, your Dracos, your Wild Nacatls, your Brawlers, Ragavans, you protect them, you clear the board. When the games start to get longer, and they're picking your creatures off, and you're having trouble, and they're trying to make a comeback, that's when you can start landing at those when everybody's low on resources. Imagine just Siege Rhinos just coming down, bam, bam, lightning helixing you, a 4/5 trampler that doesn't die to Prismatic Ending for most decks. It's very, I mean, it's unexpected, right? So I really enjoyed this card in the deck, but let me know what you guys think. If you saw any misplays, any plays I could have done better, please comment at the bottom. Let me know. Any questions, concerns about the deck, tell me what you think about the Siege Rhino, because he's running wild. Comment at the bottom, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, share, hit that notification button. I post daily. So again, my friends, thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and peace out.